and I'm very grateful to be taking over this session today. It's quite an interesting topic, quite intriguing, I might say. When I saw it, I was like, all right. Do plants have feelings? And this will lead us into quite an interesting alleyway, basically. Quite a few questions to ask. So let's start with Khushbu. So Khushbu, do plants have feelings?
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening. How are you?
I'm good, ma'am.
Okay, so what do you think, Khushbu? Do plants have feelings?
Ma'am, I think plants may not have feelings.
They don't have feelings. Okay. And
No.
what classifies something to have feelings?
Ma'am, plants have skin. Plants can serve. Plants have skin, which are going to react when we will cut. Then bodies are react with skin.
Okay, so plants have like skin-like cells that will react.
Yes.
But it's not a feeling.
No.
Okay. So in case, so what are you talking about in terms of like the reaction? The reaction is more of a, is it more of a chemical one? Is it more of a nervous one?
No, ma'am. I think plants have photosynthesis system. The whole process is photosynthesized by transfer of energy from the sun to light.
Okay. So it's more of a, you think it's more of a chemical reaction rather than an emotional one. It's on a cellular basis.
Yes.
Okay. Now I'm going to be very difficult, okay?
Okay.
Our feelings are determined by our brain,
Yes.
our response to the environment, which also leads to hormonal changes, so hormones and chemicals. So
Ma'am, we are humans, so we can react.
exactly. Now,
Yes.
chemicals cause us to
So we can
react.
Yes.
So what is different than plants, though? Because if chemicals are making us feel things and react to things, how are plants different if they too react with chemicals?
And please repeat the question.
Okay, so we have chemicals and they give us different reactions and different feelings. For example, if we are very happy, we might have like a rush of an adrenaline after a run. You feel very happy after you're running for a long time. You get an adrenaline rush and you feel really happy. And that's a chemical. And it alters our feelings, how we feel. Now, if a plant has chemicals inside it, okay, doesn't it too have feelings then? If the chemicals change, doesn't it have a possibility
Yes,
of
ma'am.
feeling?
Then it will react.
It reacts.
Yes. Then plants will react.
So it
Yes.
has a form of feeling. So plants do feel.
I think don't no feeling, but when we chemical, then it will react.
Okay, so you're thinking of a chemical reaction and feelings as two different things. One is a
Yes.
reaction, maybe like a nervous reaction from nerves, like nerves in our system, and a feeling is not just a chemical reaction, but there is some form of a higher understanding of it.
Yes, ma'am. It's a higher understanding, maybe.
Okay. Okay, it's a difficult one, isn't it? So, for example, do plants, another question that comes out of this, do plants have a brain?
No, no brain.
They have no brain, but plants can see, because some plants open only in sunlight, like the sunflower, they open and move towards the sun. So they have the ability to see.
Yes, maybe sunflower is reacts with sunlight. When there were sunlight, then they move like on the face, on the sunlight, on the sun.
Okay, so you're thinking more chemical reaction as opposed to feeling.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. That's why I wanted this debate with you. I wanted to see what. Okay, well done, Kushbu. I want to see where you get to with this. Very good.
Okay.
Okay, Veena, I will move on to you.
Good evening, ma'am.
You're welcome. Hi,
Hap-
Veena. How are you feeling today?
Bit nice.
Oh, yeah.
It will take, I think so, 2 more days.
Oh, hopefully it'll pass.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh, hopefully it'll pass easily. Wish you all the best, Veena.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, so do plants have feelings?
Yes, they have feelings.
They have feelings. Okay. And what makes you say so?
Like with example, I'll tell you. Like if you plant two seeds in two different pots, and in one pot you just put water and everything what is needed for a plant, and in
Hmm.
one you put water and everything and talk to that seed. Okay, when you will grow up, I we will talk to each other, we'll be friends, and you will find that the seed with whom we are talking that grows faster than the seed which is left.
I see. Okay.
And it is a
So
proven thing, like I have done it and it works with the plants.
I believe you have. My grandma used to do that. She used to talk to her plants, and I used to think, "What are you doing?" But she used to say it worked as well. So uh, I believe you because she used to happen to her. Um, Now, when we talk about feelings, do you think the feel? I tried to have this debate as well with Kushbu. I'm going to try it with you. Do you think it's a real feeling that a plant has, or is it just a chemical reaction, or is it just some form of reaction?
For me it's like it's a real feeling, like when I am depressed and I don't have anyone to hug, I just go and hug the plant and I just cry with that plant and I say that you are the one who is with me, and it works like the energy from the plant is coming to me and I'm feeling good. Like plants have energy and they just transfer it from them to yours, and it works very nicely.
Okay. Okay, very good. Okay, and how do you describe how would you describe feelings? What are feelings? How would you define feelings?
The emotional things which comes in our mind and in our heart.
Mm-hmm. And what do you need to have feelings? What happens when we have a feeling? What does it include?
when you
How
have
do we have
when
feelings?
you have a heart you have feeling. When you don't have a heart you don't have a feeling.
Okay, so you see feelings as being something that are um, beyond us, kind of like within our soul,
Yes,
so to speak. Okay. Um, do you believe that rather than just being in our soul, there could also be things like chemicals? Could feelings just be a concoction of chemicals inside us?
like there are chemical reaction when it occurs, like happy feeling and sad feelings. They are
Hmm.
just due to the chemical reaction which is going inside us, but we don't feel it. We feel like it's just the heart which is making us cry, it's the heart which is making us laugh, but basically it is the chemical reaction which is making us happy or sad.
Okay, so chemical reactions alter our feelings,
Yes,
but our feelings are within our soul.
yes.
Okay. Okay, very good. I'll ask this question as well to Kushbu. Kushbu, what do you think?
Yes, ma'am. Please
Do you
repeat the.
think do you think feelings are like a separate entity within our soul, Or do you think they are just chemical reactions that happen inside of us?
No, ma'am, feelings are in our soul.
Okay. And they are altered by these chemicals.
Yes.
Okay. Now, you don't think a plant has feelings. You think a plant doesn't have a soul.
I think may not have feelings actually, but it will react with chemicals, and it's due to your own photosynthesis process, or used by plants or other organisms, or to convert light energy into chemical energy. I like that. I think only
Very
that.
good. Okay. And do you think plants have a soul or no?
Ma'am, I think plants have soul. When in India we worshipped our basil plant, and lots of plants like banyan tree, or more or more plants we worshipped in India.
Okay.
And I think plants have feelings, but when I learned in the book or in the Google, they are talking like plants may not have feelings. So I am confused here only.
Ah! Okay, good. Well, I am glad I have confused you. That's progress. Confusion is progress.
Yes.
Well,
In the morning I think that plants have feelings, but in the evening I learned, I think, oh, plants may not have feelings. Then I'm confused here only.
it's good. It's good. This confusion is good because this means that
Yes,
you
then
are
I
you are
learned.
in the process of learning.
Yes,
Yes, exactly. You are
then I
questioning.
learned, ma'am. Yes, then I learned. Yeah, we are human beings, so we have five senses like taste, touch, sight, hearing, and smell. But plants may not have eyes, ears, or a tongue, but their skin can perform many of their same actions.
Exactly.
Then I think plants have may not have feelings. Oh, plants have feelings because we worshipped every day basil in India. And in the front of basil, we just burn a diya lamp, a small lamp in the morning or in the evening, or or all day maybe. Then I'm confused here. What should I say?
Fantastic. Okay. Well, this makes you think. This
Yes.
is great because this makes you think a lot. And I'm going to give you another thing to think about. Have you ever heard of the Venus flytrap?
No.
Okay, so the Venus flytrap is a plant that waits for a fly to come in and eats
Yes.
it. Okay, Vina's heard of it. Vina knows. So the plant's open, the fly goes in,
Yes, yes. I
and it
saw,
eats
ma'am.
it.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, if a plant has no kind of feeling, how would it know that the fly is inside of it? How does it know that it can eat the fly and it can close and trap the fly so that it can eat it? So it's quite an interesting one because
Yes.
that makes you question, do plants have a brain?
No, no
Have
brain.
They don't have a brain like us, like a big
Yes.
brain, but do they have some form of brain,
Yes.
some form of nervous tissue?
Yes. Some form of nervous tissue I learned.
So if they have some form of nervous tissue and have some form of chemicals that alter their states and their reactions, their chemical reactions and how they react, then can they possibly feel? Because now they can digest food like us, they can see because they move towards the light. Some plants may even hear as well. Um, they have certain organs that might be able to uh, distinguish noise.
Okay.
They have so they have a lack of obvious centers of sensory input. Okay, they don't have actual ears, they don't have an actual nose, but plants may very well have some form of receptors that allow them to sense their environment. So these are all things like to investigate. These are all things to investigate. For example, they might sense a fly. They might be able to sense a fly by hearing it. The Venus flytrap senses the fly inside of it. So maybe they do have a form of a primitive brain which allows them to have feelings. Um, so it's going to leave you with quite a big question to answer, Kushbu. Um, by the end of this session, I don't know if you will come to a decision whether you think plants have feelings or not.
Yes.
Ma'am, as Kushbu ma'am told that plants have skin, and the most important part of our sense organs through which we can feel is the skin.
Exactly. So it's a big sense
So
organ.
this proves that plants have feelings.
Yes, plants have feelings.
Now Kushbu ma'am knows that plants have feelings. There is a plant like touch me not. When you touch that plant, it just shrinks.
It stings you.
Yes, yes, I know. Yes.
Shrinks, like all the leaves comes together. Like it's touch me not. The plant's name is touch me not.
Wow, I didn't know that one.
Like when you touch that plant, all the leaves comes
Oh,
together and it forms, and when you leave it, it's again spreads out.
Fantastic.
So this shows that they have the feeling like they don't want to be touched by anyone, just leave them alone.
I love that. That's absolutely great. Okay, there we go. So it's another one where it kind of makes us wonder, do plants have feelings? Another one, for example, is when food. So light is food for a plant,
yes.
and it sometimes what they do is they drop the lower leaves at the bottom. Okay, drop them if they don't have enough light because they need to preserve the energy. So they kind of sacrifice a few leaves so that they can stay alive. The plant can survive with the top leaves.
Yes, I have seen those plants also.
Yes,
Okay,
me also. Yes.
so it responds and does what is necessary to survive in an environment, which is very much like what animals and what humans do. So it further gives us more to the like more fuel to the fire to debate the question, well, do plants actually have feelings? If they do all of these things, do they have a bigger mental capacity than we actually believe? Do they have an intelligence that we might not yet fully understand? So
Yes.
these questions, that all of these questions today, it's been quite an interesting one.
Quite interesting, ma'am. Yes.
The topic is very interesting.
Yes, today's question is very interesting.
It is very connected to me. Like I have done this program where we talk to the flowers, we talk to the plants, and we say if you have any problem, you can tell us. And the plants talks and they tell us that like we are having this problem. And there are lots of plants like trees which are from 200 years or 300 years back. They are there, and when you talk to them, they tell all the stories like they have seen them,
Oh
and I
my,
have heard that they literally talk to you like the
Yes,
same language which we
in
talk.
India. In India, we worshipped every day.
my
We think
goodness.
plants are
Plants.
very close to us.
Yes.
Okay, so it's within your culture that you think that plants are very, very much close to us. So we should um, bless them every single day and worship them.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, and is there a specific plant that you worship? Is there one plant that's very important to you in India?
Yes, ma'am. Basil. Basil plant.
The basil plant. Okay, and why is the most important?
Like it has a very big medical thing like
Ma'am, it's a medicinal plant. Neem, tulsi. It's Indian name in Hindi.
Mm-hmm.
Basil in Hindi, we in India just tulsi, and it's a medicinal plant. Turmeric plants also there,
Mm-hmm.
and banana plants we worshipped every day. And there's also banyan tree, neem, tulsi, all are medicinal plants. So we worshipped.
Okay, very good. Okay, something else that I wanted to mention. I know we were talking about plants, but also trees. Trees talk to each other through their roots, through a connection of roots as well. They are known to communicate with each other.
Yes, ma'am. Big trees also we
Yeah.
worship here in India. All
Yes,
the
I have
temples.
seen two trees, ma'am, where they were simultaneously standing together, and one died, and in 5 to 6 months, the other one also died.
Oh my goodness.
And then we realized that it was the sadness, like he was alone, nobody talked to him. That's why he died.
Oh wow.
So,
That's
and just now you told me that, then I remembered this incident. Like we have two mango trees in our home, and they both died.
it's really, I mean, it's amazing what nature's like. It really is. I mean, we have a tendency to sometimes, think that it's us humans and it's us on our own and we are the most important. But when you look at all the living things that we have, the creatures and all the animals and now plants, we are not alone. It is not just our world. We are sharing this world, and sometimes we fail to see that.
Yes, ma'am.
I'll just ask Anjali because she's come in as well. Anjali,
Yes,
Anjali. So Anjali, today we're discussing, do you think plants have feelings?
ma'am. Plants may not have feelings, but they are indeed alive and have been described as sentient life forms.
Yes, okay, they have a life form and they are living, true. Now, what me and Kushbu and Veena have been discussing over the last 20-25 minutes has been that plants have, yes, they do have chemical reactions, and that they have a skin-like, they have like skin that responds to light, and they respond to sound as well. So they must have some form of feeling. For example, Veena talks to her plants, and she notices that the ones that she talks to grow better.
Yeah,
They grow more. She's tried this experiment. So, I mean, when you hear all these things, and when you hear, for example, about the sunflower, that it always grows and looks towards the sunlight, or the Venus flytrap that waits till it feels a fly inside it and grabs it. Do you, after hearing all these things, does it make you question yourself whether plants have feelings or not? Anjali?
yes, ma'am.
Does it make you question yourself?
Yeah, ma'am.
Do you think so? What
Yes,
do you
ma'am.
think
They
now?
have, ma'am. They have feelings.
They have feelings. So you conclude they have feelings just from what I said.
Yeah, ma'am.
Okay. So okay, Veena and Kushbu.
Yes, ma'am.
Veena, I think you're leaving this meeting pretty much 100% sure now that plants have feelings. There's no doubt
Yes.
in your mind.
No, I don't have any doubt. Plants have feeling.
Okay. And what about you, Kushbu? How are you leaving this feeling? What are you how are you leaving this meeting? What are your feelings now?
Yes, ma'am. Plants have feelings because they react. Their reaction with the skin, maybe they react. And
So
yes, ma'am,
we
they have feelings.
okay. So you've changed sides now. You
Yes,
started
ma'am.
out this meeting with no, they don't, and now yes, they do.
Yes, yes. Today I think right, but maybe it wrong. Now it's okay. Plants. Today I learned.
We have driven you crazy, haven't we?
Yes.
We were like, well, what about this? What about that? Um, okay, but it was a debate, guys. This is what a debate may do. It may bring in question marks. It may bring in doubt and
Yes,
make you
doubt.
rethink. Yeah, it makes you rethink. I don't know the answer to it. I don't know. I just know all these things that they do. So it makes me question things. Um, okay, Anjali, what about you? How are you? How are you leaving this meeting today? What do you feel you've learned? Anjali?
Ma'am, I have joined so late, but ma'am, that because I mean that I have joined so late, so I don't hear what is you have told. But
Yes, that's
I
okay.
think there is a moral. I think there is a moral value. I think that
There's a moral value.
nature's
Okay.
beauty, what nature's beauty,
What's the moral
what
lesson?
the
Can
plants
you tell
have
me?
feel. Ma'am, love
What's the,
towards our nature.
sorry?
Ma'am, love towards our nature,
Love towards the
plant.
nature. Yep. Yep. And what do you feel about what I said about we sometimes tend to forget that we share this planet? Do you agree?
Sorry, ma'am, can you repeat it again?
Do you agree that sometimes we forget that humans share this planet with other creatures and other plants? We think it's
Yes,
ours.
yes, ma'am.
We do that, don't we?
Yeah, yeah, ma'am.
Okay, Vina, what do you think about this statement?
Yeah, we are cutting the plants, we are cutting the forest. We are thinking that only we can live in this world, but it's very wrong thinking. Animals and plants are very necessary for the society, and like if we don't have plant, then we don't have oxygen.
Exactly. They keep us alive.
So we should not cut plants.
Very good. Okay, and Kushbu, what are your final thoughts about this statement?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. They keep us alive. Plants is very necessary for our environment or for us also, because they give us oxygen,
Mm-hmm.
and it's good for our society and our environment or for us also.
Okay, and we need to start looking after them.
Yes, we start planting a lot for.
Definitely.
Yes.
We do need to start doing that. Well, thank you very much, guys. We've come to the end of this very interesting session, and I hope you've all enjoyed it. Thank you so much, and I will see you all tomorrow.
Thank you, ma'am. Bye.
Thank you, ma'am. Bye, ma'am.
Goodbye.